Imagine a wall of water taller than a skyscraper racing towards your city at a speed faster than a jet plane. This was the reality for thousands of people during the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, one of the worst natural disasters in human history. Could the world be on the brink of another catastrophic natural disaster? Scientists warn that the worst tsunami in Earth's history could happen again in 2023, potentially causing widespread devastation and loss of life. Will we be able to survive this impending disaster, or will history repeat itself? Stay tuned to find out how we can prepare for and hopefully prevent this potential catastrophe. Chapter: What's the News? As stated in a report compiled by the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO, because of its complicated geological history and ongoing tectonic activity, the Mediterranean region is said to be in high danger of being hit by a tsunami. According to the findings of the investigation, a tsunami with wave heights greater than 1 meter has the potential to strike a number of important cities located on or close to the Mediterranean Sea. These cities include Marseille, Alexandria, and Istanbul. The paper indicates that tsunamis are unusual occurrences in the Mediterranean region, yet they are still possible owing to a variety of causes, including earthquakes that occur beneath the sea, landslides, and volcanic eruptions. A big tsunami has the potential to inflict substantial damage on coastal infrastructure, wreak havoc on the economies of the surrounding regions, and take the lives of people. As sea levels rise, the risk of a tsunami in Mediterranean coastal areas is expected to rise. While most tsunamis occur in the Pacific and Indian Oceans, inhabitants in other coastal regions, especially the Mediterranean, were often aware of the threats. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization has announced that 5 at-risk villages in the Mediterranean will join 40 other tsunami-ready towns and cities in 21 countries by next year. They include, in addition to Marseille, Alexandria, and Istanbul, Cannes and Chipiona, a town on Spain's Atlantic coast near Cadiz. The Tsunami Ready initiative is part of UNESCO's larger effort, established ahead of next week's UN Oceans Conference in Lisbon to ensure that all at-risk communities know what to do in the event of a tsunami by 2030. The tsunamis of 2004 and 2011 served as a wake-up call, said Bernardo Aliaga, UNESCO's chief tsunami expert. Since 2004, we've come a long way. We are now safer. However, there are gaps in readiness that must be filled. We must ensure that warnings are understood by visitors and communities. Chapter: But why scientists claim so. This warning is based on scientific research that says that the Mediterranean region is at a high risk of tsunamis due to the region's complicated geological history and the tectonic activity that occurs there. The area known as the Mediterranean is situated at a point where 3 tectonic plates meet, namely where the African, Eurasian, and Arabian plates meet. Because of this, it is a region that has a high level of seismic activity. In the past, there have been earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and other geological hazards that have the potential to cause tsunamis. In recent years, improvements in technology and scientific understanding have helped to contribute to an improvement in our ability to predict tsunamis and make preparations for them. Scientists are able to gain a better understanding of the possible dangers and effects of tsunamis in many locations of the world by doing research on historical records, geological data, and other indications. The scientists who work for the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO have come to the conclusion that there is a high likelihood that a tsunami will hit major cities that are on or near the Mediterranean Sea within the next 30 years, and they have called for increased efforts to prepare for this potential threat. The evidence that they used to come to this conclusion was based on scientific evidence. Chapter: Past Experiences. Large waves known as tsunamis are typically created by earthquakes that occur beneath the ocean's surface. However, tsunamis can also be caused by other events such as volcanic eruptions, landslides, and even meteor impacts. When a significant amount of energy is released in the form of a seismic wave or any other disturbance, it has the potential to cause a tsunami, which has the ability to travel across oceans and hit coasts located thousands of miles away. The huge earthquake that caused the Indian Ocean tsunami in 2004 was caused by a subduction zone earthquake that occurred off the coast of Sumatra in Indonesia. This earthquake was the cause of one of the most well-known tsunamis in history. It was one of the most powerful earthquakes ever measured, with a magnitude of 9.1, making it one of the highest on the list. The earthquake caused a series of massive waves to form, which then traveled across the Indian Ocean and struck coastal areas in over a dozen different countries, including Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and India. The waves were caused by seismic waves that were generated when the earthquake occurred. The tsunami that struck the Indian Ocean in 2004 is believed to have caused the deaths of more than 230,000 people, making it one of the natural disasters with the highest death toll in recorded history. The tsunami was responsible for massive destruction, including the obliteration of entire towns and villages and the displacement and homelessness of a great number of people. As a result of the disaster, the significance of early warning systems was brought to light, as a great number of individuals were taken aback by the unexpected and quick arrival of the tsunami. In 2011, Japan was hit by yet another devastating tsunami, which was caused by an earthquake of magnitude 9.0 that occurred off the country's coast. The subsequent tsunami was responsible for a substantial amount of destruction and loss of life, in addition to causing significant damage to a number of nuclear power reactors. The accident resulted in a heightened level of scrutiny being placed on nuclear power facilities and the safety mechanisms they possessed, and it caused a number of countries to reevaluate their nuclear power programs. In general, the historical experiences of tsunamis indicate the destructive power of these natural catastrophes and underscore the significance of investing in preparedness and resilience measures to help limit the potential impacts of tsunamis. Early warning systems, upgrades to infrastructure, and public education campaigns can all play a part in minimizing the likelihood of tsunamis, as well as helping communities adapt to disasters and recover after they have occurred. Chapter: Post-Tsunami Effect. A tsunami can have long-lasting effects on the affected region long after the disaster has passed. The most common post-tsunami effects are displacement and homelessness. A tsunami can destroy homes, businesses, and infrastructure, leaving many people homeless and forced to seek shelter in temporary accommodation. Displaced individuals may experience mental health issues and face uncertainty regarding their future. The process of rebuilding homes and infrastructure can take years, prolonging the displacement and instability. Economic damage. The destruction caused by a tsunami can have a significant impact on the local and national economies. Coastal regions that depend on tourism and fishing can experience long-term economic consequences, as well as a decrease in revenue from other industries that have been disrupted. The cost of rebuilding homes, businesses, and infrastructure can be staggering, leading to a strain on government budgets and international aid organizations. Environmental damage. Tsunamis can have a severe impact on the natural environment, particularly wetlands, coral reefs, and other coastal ecosystems. The massive amounts of water and debris that are carried inland by the waves can damage or destroy natural habitats. The contamination of soil and water with salt water can have long-term effects on agricultural production, affecting food security and the local economy. Health impacts. A tsunami can have a significant impact on public health. The destruction of health infrastructure, such as hospitals and clinics, can limit access to medical care and increase the risk of disease outbreaks. The displacement of individuals from their homes and the disruption of water and sanitation systems can lead to the spread of waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid fever. Chapter: Eco-Tsunami Effect. Tsunamis are a type of natural disaster that can have devastating consequences for both human lives and the economy. When a tsunami occurs, it can cause widespread destruction, damage infrastructure, and disrupt the normal functioning of businesses and industries. As a result, the economic impact of a tsunami can be significant and long-lasting, especially in regions that are heavily dependent on tourism, fishing, or other coastal activities. The tourism industry can suffer a significant decline in revenue, which can have a ripple effect on the local economy. Many businesses that rely on tourism, such as restaurants, souvenir shops, and transportation services, may suffer losses and have to close down. Another way in which tsunamis can affect the economy is by damaging or destroying fishing infrastructure. When the fishing industry suffers, it can lead to higher prices for seafood and a decline in exports, which can hurt the economy as a whole. Tsunamis can also disrupt the transportation infrastructure that connects coastal regions with the rest of the country. Roads, bridges, and other infrastructure can be severely damaged or destroyed, making it difficult to transport goods and people in and out of the region. Chapter: Plans and Strategies to Overcome. The possibility that a tsunami would strike major towns that are located on or near the Mediterranean Sea is a significant cause for concern. Investing in building codes and infrastructure that are intended to withstand the impact of tsunamis is another key tactic that should be implemented. This may involve taking precautions such as fortifying houses, seawalls, and other coastal structures, as well as formulating recovery and reconstruction strategies for use once a disaster has occurred. For instance, the United Nations has created the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning and Mitigation System, which is designed to offer early warning and cooperation in the event that a tsunami strikes the region surrounding the Indian Ocean. Overall, the possibility that a tsunami could strike major cities located on or near the Mediterranean Sea highlights how important it is to invest in preparedness and resilience measures and to collaborate with one another to ensure that we are able to effectively respond to natural disasters of this kind. Chapter Conclusion. In conclusion, tsunamis are among the most severe natural disasters that can occur, causing widespread devastation and loss of lives. The recent UNESCO warning that major towns in the Mediterranean are at risk of tsunamis emphasizes the persistent threat that these events pose, as well as the significance of being prepared and resilient in the face of such calamities. While there is no way to totally prevent the possibility of a tsunami, there are various precautions that can be taken to reduce the possible consequences. To assist communities in better preparing for and responding to tsunamis, government should invest in early warning systems, infrastructure improvements, and public education campaigns. Individuals can also protect themselves by learning about the risks and becoming updated about any hazards in their area. Finally, by cooperating and taking a proactive approach to tsunami preparedness, we may assist to mitigate the impact of these tragic natural catastrophes and move toward a safer and more resilient future. If you found this video to be interesting and helpful, please share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel for more updates on natural disasters and other relevant problems. We can all help to develop a safer and more resilient world for ourselves and future generations by remaining informed and involved. Thank you for taking the time to watch.